Today we're going to talk about Redbox and why I think it's going to be sort of not exactly like GameStop, but is heading there. And we're going to talk about different indicators, why I think that there's different factors that are actually making me believe that there's a little bit of a potential here. Again, none of this is going to be a financial advice, but I'm definitely looking into the stock starting Monday because, I was looking at a stock, but I wasn't really sure what's happening. But now there's a huge discussion on different Discord channels and Wall Street Bets, et cetera, et cetera. So when you have a lot of people talking about a stock, and what you gotta do is you gotta find ways to make money off of that, right? So there's gonna be a lot of demand starting Monday on the stock because I've already know many thousand people that already are looking into the stock from retail investment perspective, right? And we're going to talk about, and here are the news, right, that came out. It says Redbox, latest struggling company to get a boost from retail traders because the stock is up 40% from last 1 week. Okay, so there is a lot of interest coming up on Redbox. Okay, let's talk about what's going on with the company, right? It's a market cap for the company is about 241 million. The market cap goes down. It's basically how much is your share worth times number of shares outstanding. So the market cap is about 241. The volume that was traded for the stock is about 40 million on Friday. As of close of Friday, on an average, the stock only trades about 12 million. So there's a lot more shares were traded on Friday because, as I said, there's a newly found interest on this. As far as the EPS, earnings per share is 2.24, which means they are not losing money. They are profitable in their zone, and PE ratio is about 2.38. So, and the noteworthy things about this things is, right, when you have what happened with GameStop was it went to a short squeeze. Okay, what happens in a short squeeze is you have companies investing on a stock, betting on a company that is gonna go bankrupt, and they short the stock, they sell the stock, and they would anticipate the stock to go down in a future date, and they would repurchase it from the market and fulfill their obligation to fulfill the borrowed stock. Okay, now what is happening, right? Ownership, it can go to 100%, right? And anything 100% is a full ownership. When you come into a 300% ownership, and this is institutional banks, okay, they own 300% of the stock. How is that even possible, right? Like so you have a lot of synthetic shares that go into the market, right? The people, they're shorting stock is naked shorts, different shorts. Like they don't even have a physical share of the stock. They're borrowing a stock that is not even in existence, okay? And that happened with GameStop as well. And how the short squeeze, as I said, if they had a bet against the company and they, let's say, bought million shares, and they shorted million shares, for example, and they think the price is going to go to $3 or $2, and they will buy it back from the market and fulfill their obligation. Then the retail investors comes in, they buy a lot of shares, and the price goes up to $7, $8. Now, the company that purchased the stock, the shorted the stock at $5, now it needs to cover its position because it's going to eventually has to buy back from the market. In order to chase that market, that price in the market, the stock starts shooting up. That's called short squeeze. When it started shooting up, a lot of people jump in. Now you have a trend. Followers, people looking for trends, et cetera, et cetera. They see an uptrend, they get in, the price goes even further. It keeps this a loop. It's called short squeeze. That's why the price could potentially go $50, $60, $70. In GameStop, it went almost from $20 to like $400, right? Now, I'm not going to state that this is going to be exactly like GameStop, but there's a potential problem here, right? You have a 300% ownership from the institutional banks. And, that's a problem. Okay. That's a problem to begin with. All their analysts from these four firms thinks it's a buy, but the average price was $2.22. But we are at already around $4.80. I'm going to talk about the price in a second. Short interest, it's about 54%, right? Now I couldn't find any numbers for the short float number. I think that is about, 30-40% as well, but I don't want to guess it. But here off exchange short, which is a dark pool short interest, is about 54%. Now, as I said, right, if they own 300%, you're going to have retail investor owning some percent of the stock. So you have a lot of people owning a stock. Maybe the stock doesn't even exist, right? They're shorting the stock that does not exist. Short squeeze, very possible. Generally, what I'm looking for in this case scenario, right, when you have a stock that is pumping, it's never a long-term buy for me, right? It's going to be get in where I make money, I'm out, right? And maybe get in again, rinse and repeat sort of a thing, right? It pulls back, I get in again, goes up, I sell it again, right? So basically for me right now, I don't think there's going to be any shorting going on for the stock because of the different, there's a lot of community, this big community on retail investors, of Wall Street Bets, Discord. There's a lot of people there, right? So in hedge fund, people understand that now. Before they sort of did not, before they thought that they could undermine it, they then don't have to worry about the retail investors. But people got so educated, so smart about trading, and you have platforms that provide that opportunity, like Robinhood, Webull, and different platforms, Thinkorswim. These are free fees. I remember in 2006 or 7 when I wanted to trade, right? I went to E-Trade and I went to ScottTrade.com. There was $7, per position that they were costing. Like if you wanted to trade back and forth, right? If you're not a day trader, they were costing you $7. That was a fee for their, and there's certain transactions they give you, like 7 or 6 transactions and $7. It was a lot of different hassles you had to go through, right? It was not very encouraging, right? After that, when Robinhood came out with the idea to give people the power to start trading, retail investors got in, and they showed their power with GameStop and AMC. So now Redbox is also heading there, and again, this is going to be very interesting to see. Let's see what is going on with the stock, right? The stock was down literally. In 2022, it was around $1, right? Right now, the stock is trading at around $4 or so. You got to watch this stock tomorrow, Monday, right? And I would definitely, there's a couple of resistance I see here. I saw like in March 2nd, the stock did go up to, let's draw up some supports here, okay? Some resistance here, right? You see a price action here, right? You see it hit that resistance 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is a very solid resistance right here, okay? Now I'm on a 4-hour chart, okay? Of course, you could always, draw this out on a smaller period. But if you go to 30 period and your resistance is good, you should be able to backtrack it and be able to see resistance hitting those numbers again, right? So definitely a good resistance. That's 4-hour chart, $5.90. Now, if it crossed that $5.98, let's go to 4-hour window real quick. There's potential that there's another resistance right here. As I see, this price action was captured a couple of times here. Okay. And it's about $6.69. So you got to watch out for these resistance, right? Of course, if it falls on Monday, you see a little bit of a dip. This is my personal, what I'm trying to do. I'm still going to get in, if it falls even greater, but I'm going to definitely start getting my foot in there just in case I don't lose out the opportunity. So $3.64 will be, will be a resistance for this. As far as the indicators are concerned, on the R side, 4-hour period is started to coming down a little bit, but it could potentially go back up. There could be an oversold here. If anything above 70 means the stock is being overbought. So in this case, if it goes above 70, you can stay there for a little while, like 30, 40 minutes. I could probably get in, and just get out quickly and make some few bucks on that as well. ATR is the average true range, which means that how much the stock moves. In last 7 days, the stock on an average moved around 64 cents. But on May 2nd, as I was saying, the stock went to $8. It moved $1.82. And I think because there's a lot of hype I'm seeing on the stock for Monday, it's going to be interesting to get in early on this, right? So definitely not about financial advice, as I said in the beginning, but definitely add it to your watch list. Definitely watch the stock. And there's a lot of fishy going on with the stock as well. And I think this will be probably a little bit of an opportunity. I don't think it's going to be exactly like GameStop, but because it all comes down to catalysts, it all comes down to supply and demand, right? If there's a lot of demand, then the stock price is going to go up. And if you have, for example, 10,000 or 20,000 retail investors or 30,000 looking into it, and each person, for example, goes ahead and, get like 100 or 200 shares, for example, a lot of shares, and that could potentially kick up the price, and people that are shorting the stock will have to cover their position to minimize their losses just in case the stock keeps moving forward up, and you could potentially run into a short squeeze, which is a great thing if you're trying to get some money out of squeezing some money out of the stock, right? So think of it like that. If it's squeezing, squeeze the damn thing out of it, So definitely add it to your watch list. Hope you guys like this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I release video every day, and the objective here is to get you guys information early so we can get on top of it. Talk to you guys later.